Today's story will be like the first half of the story while God's preparing Gideon to be a real judge, a real fighter. Last week, he got a name. He got a nickname. What was it? Do you remember, anybody? Starts with yeah. Another hint, let Baal contend with him. Yes, that's the meaning of his name. Yes, so something starts with yeah. What is that? Okay. Let me give you 3 seconds and then we all shout together, okay? 3, 2, 1. Yerub-Baal. Yes, if you remember, yes, one more time. 3, 2, 1. Yerub-Baal. Amen. Yes. So, wow, is there many more of you today? Yes, I feel it too. Yes, like I told you my eyes are real small. Like I have a super Asian eyes. My friends in America once in a while made a joke like, Joe, open your eyes, please. And like, I'm opening all the time, not like 24/7, but yes. So anyway, if you can come a little front or center next time, thank you very much. Yes, because I have a very small eyes. Anyway, like from today's message, we got a title, God is patient. So why don't we repeat one more time? 3, 2, 1. God is patient. God is what? Yes, God is one with the patience. From today's the first part of Gideon saying to God, we can see he goes like that. Can you start from if? Let's read it all together. If you will save Israel by my hand, as you have promised. Okay, so Gideon starts today with asking God for a request. He wanted to see a sign. But before then, from the way he speaks, one thing kind of caught my eyes for a while, saying, by my hand. Let's think about previous stories. Was it because of the certain person's capability only? How God saved Israel? Because that guy, like Ehud, Shamgar, or because that person's great, or the tool was great, did they win the war? Did the person save Israel? Nope. God saved Israel. But still, Gideon goes like, by my hand. If you will save Israel by my hand. That's what Gideon is saying. And think about this. Isn't it the way we think? Our future career and path, and even for me, like ministry here, did he have a worship service by my hand? No, not at all. And I confess, I'm not really much of a great worship leader. And yeah, having TJ and having all members finally back was really a pleasure. And I hope this is not just one day wonder. Yes, let's keep it for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, a year, okay? Yes, I really pray. But is it gonna work? Because I woke up Taylor from 9:30 a.m. Taylor, are you awake? Yes, drink water and give me a clear voice. Yes, yes, yes. But just because me doing that, will it keep the worship team? Is it how things work? Like if you want to, let's see, we got some teachers here, right? Yes. Asking your students so much, pushing them by just do it. Why don't you do it? Or just saying you can do it even if it's really clear that the students cannot do the certain task. But still you just push the students saying, you can do it, yes. If you try hard, if you study hard, you can do it. just by pushing the students, do they make a good result? Do you really have control over your students? Even if you do your best, sometimes outcomes, we have different outputs from different people. Yes, those variants are not controllable. Yes, but Gideon says like that. Let's go back into his stories. So, first time when Gideon was threshing the wheat in the winepress, angel appeared and told him, why was he threshing the wheat in the winepress? Because he was afraid. When he became what? Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Rub, Baal, yes. Look at this picture. He is breaking the idols. After breaking the idols, what did he become? 3, 2, 1. Yerub, Baal, yes. Yes. Even when he became Yerub Baal, still, when he got that, brave name, still he was doing that in the night. Look outside. It's, yes, not me, not the screen, but look at the window, seriously. Yes. Yes, not me. Look at the windows. Yes. Is it a daytime or a night? Obviously, it's bright outside, right? But this guy had to choose such late night. Why? Because he was afraid. Yes. Let me ask you one more time. Why was he threshing the wheat in the winepress? Because he was afraid. Okay, because he was what? Afraid. Yes. And then why did he choose night for breaking the idols? Because he was, yes, such person. Yes. But think about this. We cannot blame Gideon for being afraid, because even when he actually broke the idols in the night, still people figured out. And what were they saying? Bring out your son, he must die. Yes. He nearly went right in front of the line of the death. Yes, he could see that. So we cannot blame this guy for being afraid, but still, if we look at the way he talks, he goes like, "Buy my hand." Think about your life. I just asked some teachers, but think about the business. We go with the 4P, right? Place, pricing, product, and what? Yes, promotion. Then yes, we make the plan for doing the business. Yes, we look at the market, we look at the potential consumers, and then our product. We have 3 different cameras, so probably those girls who like to take selfies will try to buy our phone. But what does happen? iPhone release a new model right away. Yes, so they take the whole market. Yeah. Are we in control of anything? Seriously, think about it. Really, yeah. Yes. At the end of this month, not this month, this year, around probably October, I will have the test for getting ordained as a pastor. Yes, ordained pastor. Then one of the rules and regulations suggest that the person who is getting ordained as a pastor needs to be married before. So marital status matters, kinda. These days, obviously, probably it's gonna be our Pastor Oak who's gonna go with me and tell the people in the presbytery. Presbytery is a district. Yes, so I belong to Seoul North Presbytery, Seoul 북노회. I belong to there. So Pastor Oak will go and say, Pastor Joe, I guarantee he will conduct his job as a pastor well, and he will get married to someone someday. I guarantee. So this goes that way. But back like 20 years ago, if I weren't married, then I couldn't get ordained until I find the right person for me. At the beginning, yes, I had a person that I used to date, yes, she's a good person, but I broke up. And after that, I had a new girlfriend, yes, while you guys are not noticing, yes. Then I thought, this time it's gonna work because my time's coming and my dad's resigning this year too. So, okay, something's gonna work well. Then I broke up again. Did I mean to break up? No. Obviously, when I started, like, okay, unless we get in a real big fight, I keep the relationship with her well, get to know her, grow up in faith, and we get married. Dun, 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 dun. But I broke up. I didn't mean to. I didn't want to. But later, I figured out that she wasn't the right person for me. So yeah, things happen like that. Do you mean to fail? Nobody mean to fail. No, everybody wants to be successful. So they try their best. I mean, don't you do your best in your life at least? Anything, just waking up today, or just think about anything that you've done. The job you got. When you had your job interview, didn't you do your best? Weren't you like had the eyes really shining in front of your interviewer, and didn't you express yourself and just showed everything that you can do? Didn't you do that? My midterm exam is coming next week. Probably I'm not gonna sleep until like 2, 3 a.m. Probably I'm gonna be studying. Students, aren't you doing the same thing as I do? Yes, aren't you staying over midnight? And also teachers, after the test, aren't you grading them and giving the feedbacks? You know, also, wow, nobody's sleeping these days, huh? Yeah. Aren't you doing your best in your life? But does it go well all the time? Nobody cannot guarantee for that. Well, from the way he talks, from the way Gideon talks, we can catch that he is still thinking that he is doing something. But at least he is asking for the sign of God. What is that? On the left side of his brain, or right side, I don't know, one side of his heart, he thinks that he's going to do it. But on the other part, still he's afraid. He thinks he can do it, but at the same time, he is really afraid from previous experiences. Therefore, he brought an old fleece. And do you have any of those? Do you have any of those fleece jacket in your house? Old fleece? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. When pastors all went to retreat all together, yes, we bought the old fleece all together. I still wear that. That's one of my favorite. Yes, so the warm textile which can absorb a lot of water is wool fleece. So Gideon asked God if he can give him the sign. Yes, his first request was if he can make the textile only wet, and while the ground around it is really just dry. And then he prayed and asked God, and woke up a day after then. Then he squeezed the whole fleece, and he could get a bowl full of water. This cup is filled with water, just like that. You know, I cannot show you, but yeah, as you can see, just like the cups filled with the water. When he squeezed, yes, that much water came out. Think about it, if this place is really humid and probably everything will get wet. Yes, okay, the fleece got wet, so what's the deal? But while all of the ground around it was dry, only the garment got wet. What does that mean? That's something that doesn't make sense. How can that happen? It never happens. You know, when things get wet, everything gets wet. when things get dried out, everything gets dried out. Yes. Just imagine, like, just put 10 random wet clothes from your laundry and put that into dryer and try to see if only one certain cloth is wet while others are really dry. It's something that doesn't make any sense. That's why Gideon asked God, can you do something? Can you show me something that doesn't make sense in this world with my brain, with what I can see? Can you show me something that only you can do? Yes, Gideon asked for that. At the beginning, we could see this person not really understanding the way God works things, but still at the same time, we could see from his heart, firstly, who was really afraid, but in the end, who really wanted to see the answer of God. Our faith might not be strong all the time, but do you have the faith? And also, do you really want to ask God to give you the answer? Or do you just want to just go do it by your hand? What kind of person are you? And let me ask to myself too, what kind of person am I? While thinking about that, let's keep the story going on then. So next time, Gideon asked God one more time. And please turn the lights off from light 1 to light 4, light 1 to 3, 4. Please turn that off, yes. So let us take a look at verse 30. Let's see, yes, verse 39. Yes, verse 39. Chapter 6, verse 39. Yes. Let's read the verse all together. Yes, chapter 6, verse 39. Yes. Lights 1, 2, 3, 4 can be turned off. Thank you very much. Yes. Then Gideon said to God, "Do not be angry with me. Let me make just one more request. Allow me one more task with the fleece, but this time make the fleece dry and let the ground be covered with dew." So let's see what happens. So we can look at this one little piece of garment, which was wet and while ground was dry. But now we see the ground got wet and only the fleece got dry. Again, this is something that doesn't make any sense in our view, in our way of thinking, and in the way how things are supposed to be. Once in a while, if I hand wash some socks, and then if I don't want to put them in the dryer, or if I don't want to hang them, and if the weather is really cold, I turn the boiler on, I turn the heater on, and then just throw my socks on the ground. Yes, and they get dry. But it is whole room getting dried again. Yes, like by the law of the nature, can such thing happen? Seriously, I'm asking you. Yes. Anybody from science major? Yeah, or mathematics? Yes. Can this happen at all? I mean, it's not the way it's supposed to be. If I were a God, I wouldn't feel really comfortable with such situation. When you're telling your friend, or when you tell your business partner, or anybody that you're making kind of deal with, or anybody that you want to do a project together with, if the person's being reluctant for a real long time, and if you had to tell the same thing more than 3 times or 4 times, all the time, when when you try to sign a contract, like, of course, you need to be very careful when you sign up on the contract. But I mean, even after you describing every single detail and all that, if the person keep not believing in you, or keep having doubts on you, how would you feel? And also, once in a while, like, this gets me really angry when when things are really, really obvious. And like, let's see, if someone who's not in your field, you'll think about this. If someone who doesn't know about music very much just suddenly comes up to you and this is musically wrong, your keyboard playing, this part, that part, yes, is wrong. Just he's musically nonsense, and that person comes up to you and saying such things like that, Like when you're expert in something and just novice, just guy without any skill or experience just comes up to you and say this and that, or just doesn't listen to you when they're supposed to listening to you. If you have ever done any counseling, or if you ever try to train some people, they come and say, help me. Yes, they come and say, help me. Okay, I want to help you. Then you should follow my instruction. Then they don't follow my instruction, but keep saying, oh, things are not working out. Why? Well, the answer is very simple, because you're not following me. Yes. Okay, but I don't want to follow you, but I still want to complain that things are not working out. Okay, if you feel the way I feel, you're a very sympathetic person, yes. But anyway, once in a while, I don't know, people just come for how to study English kind of topic, and with all my heart, I tell them how to pick a good 학원, good institute to study. And if you want to study by yourself, this is how you do it, okay? This, that. Oh, if you're really into Netflix, watch the show named Good Place, okay? Just watch without subtitle first, and after that, have English subtitle later after to check out blah, blah, blah. Yes, I do my best, because usually, if someone comes for that, they're my real close person. And then, yeah, without doing anything, the person comes back like 3 months, 6 months later, and asks me, hey, my English is not improved, blah. Then, okay, did you try what I asked? Nope. Okay, then that's obvious, yes. Even as a single person, I get really annoyed. But this is our God, and let's have the lights back on, yes. Let's have the lights back. Can we have the lights back? Yes. So, yes, now this is God and Gideon. If I were God, I'll be really mad. And Gideon was being really nice. He said, do not be angry with me. Yes, but still, I mean, I do get angry even if someone says like that. Because like asking God for a giving sign one more time still looks like these guys are really trusting in God with the whole heart. But instead of judging Gideon, or instead of criticizing Gideon, God didn't say much thing. Okay, do it. I will show you. And God just did it right away. We get doubtful on how things go and on how God does His work. Just go, open your web browser and try to find the number of infected people for the COVID-19. It didn't decrease, instead it kind of increased again. It's gonna keep having a fluctuation, going up and down, increase, decrease. Yes, it will go like that for a year or two. That's what people estimate. Like, I don't want to put the concept of being optimistic or pessimistic, being positive or negative. I don't want to talk about that, but just way we look at the situation, are we really trusting God? And is God giving us the sign? And also not about those macro, big picture way. Think about one little picture, your life. Is God giving you the sign, or do you feel like your prayers being answered or not? What do you feel? For any of those who's feeling like your prayers not being answered, today when you pray after the sermon, you will have the sign from God. If you really pray, if you really pray with your heart, God, please give me a sign. Yes, my faith is weak, but I don't trust you as much. Yes, things are not working out well outside the world. Yes, people with the authority, people with the power is still abusing them. Yes, COVID-19 is just keep going on. Yes, and my job's unstable. Yes, for me, I have to find a new job. Yes, that goes also unstable. Yes, things are not easy. And things are not getting better even. God, are you there? And are you really working something out from this situation? You might be keep asking. Asking for God is not bad, but not expecting anything from God is worse. Our God is great. Our God is possible. And our God is able. Expect and wish. Sometimes, even if you kind of speaks, or even if you act in a bothersome way in the eyes of God, still bother God once in a while. And this time, from today, yes, ask for many things, ask for many signs, and receive it, make it as yours. In Korean culture, to the person in a higher position, being polite and not asking something hard looks like being polite or having courtesy. But God doesn't want that for the relationship between you and God and between me and God. What He wants is communication. What He wants is you approaching to God. Just sitting there, just staying there, and keep having yourself silent is not what God wants you to do. It's not something that God's waiting and expecting from you. Go a step further and speak up, open your mouth and pray, ask God for the sign. Then God, instead of being bothersome, instead of feeling bothered, He will do His best to give you the answer, to give you the sign.